Hi, and welcome to Happy Fisherman Adventures.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman.
As you can see, we don't have much time, so we are using our fishing time to do today's episode.
Yeah, well, we are at Leopold catching some King George whiting, but today's episode is actually our last trip in Portland. And look, there was no schoolies, there was no school tuna. So first couple of days we had shocking weather. So we actually did mushrooms.
The first day.
Then we did yakka, slimy mackerel and all that sort of stuff. And the very last day, well, the Sunday, it was a beautiful day. So we managed to go up to the shelf and deep drop and get some GemFish. So you're going to see that in today's episode.
Well, as you can see here, Portland is not all about tuna. When it's windy, when it's actually rough out there, we have to find something else to do. And this time we're after slippery jacks and saffron. Of course, we're talking about mushrooms. First thing first, do not go on your own and try to pick up the right mushrooms if you don't know what you're looking for. Mushrooms can be actually very dangerous, and if you get the wrong ones, you can get really crook and maybe even die. So, make sure you go with someone that knows his stuff and can explain and show you the actual right ones. The ones we're looking for here are slippery jacks and the actual saffrons. They're pine mushrooms, they're very, very tasty, they're beautiful to eat, but they can be lookalikes, they can be similar things, and you just do not want to go that path. With us, even when we're 100% sure which ones we pick, we're still looking at the stamp not to go black, because if it does go black, that particular mushroom is poisonous.
Well, as you saw, our first adventure was mushroom picking.
Hunting.
The
very next clip you're going to see, me and Jerry went out. We actually end up going to the Lawrence Rock, and that it started to get a bit rough. We met with Ovi there. They went early. They seen no signs of birds, no fish, no nothing. So they came back and we were fishing in harbour. And in harbour we got barracuda, slimy mackerel, yakka, all sorts of things.
Let's watch the next video.
The very next morning, it was a beautiful clear day, but the wind was up. We had everything ready, all the heavy gear, everything was as we planned, but when we got to the boat ramp, Mima decided that she's gonna stay back with Chiquita. It was nothing dangerous, but it just gets uncomfortable. So this time, just me and Jerry, we said we're gonna give it a go, but then as we got out, we saw our friend Michael. He was fishing just in front of the lee breakwater, as apparently it was a little bit rough out there. On the way, then we met Ovi, and Ovi and Alex were actually all the way towards Julia Percy, and they decided to come back because they seen no fish and it was a little bit rough. So me and Jerry said, okay, let's go just towards the Lawrence Rock, just in front of it, so we won't even pass it, and see if there is any signs, because normally there is a big barrels and big tuna just in that area. So we put the rods out and we trawled for about half an hour, but there was nothing. So we were on the way back to the harbour. When we got in the harbour, water was actually calm and we started fishing. We didn't care what, we just fished. And as Jerry got the first yak on the first drop, we saw barracuda just coming and smashing on it. So obviously there was heaps of kudas around, and yes, we caught heaps of them and we lost heaps of rigs to them. I actually put my Seaview gadget down just to see what's going on underneath there. In the meantime, Jerry was on a silver trevally. So when I looked at my gadget, I could actually see underwater heaps and heaps of yakkas. We could see heaps of trevallies, and all kind of species came in and out of the view. considering that the water was murky and that we are on about 10 meters of water, the video actually came pretty good. Both yuccas and trevallies were moving around in a school, and when they came past, there were heaps of them. So we had fun just catching anything. We didn't care. We had fun on light gear, and plus we needed some fresh bait as we planned to go to the shelf and do some deep dropping tomorrow, as it's going to be a beautiful day. Here you can see Jerry was having fun. He didn't fish for quite a while now, and when he's out there he just loves catching anything. This time yuccas were keeping him busy and he was happy as Larry. Also we got some pinkies as well, but they were way too small. But still, fun on the light gear, who cares? Just before we were catching yucca after yucca, now we're catching pinky after pinky. It just shows how every minute can be different. If you take a closer look, we didn't use nothing special. We used a reedy Stinganoster rig that we normally chase King George whiting, as there is a lot of whiting in this area, and Jerry actually used the actual Paternoster rig. So yeah, both of these rigs just worked. Then 2 minutes later the yuccas were back. But in my camera, when I turned around, I could actually see a flathead. He swam straight to my sea view gadget and he sat there looking at it. A minute later, guess what? Jerry got a flathead. The flathead was also too small, so he had to go back. But interesting enough, at one stage everything slowed down, everything stopped. So then I looked at the sea view just to see what's going on, and we could see this massive stingray just going under the boat. And that obviously spooked a bit the fish, but soon the stingray was gone and everything started back to normal.
Well, the very next video is the continuation of TB and Jerry catching yucca and barracuda and so on.
And we had one silver whiting and we had 2 King George whiting as well. So we can't complain.
Well, the fun continues, and this time Jerry managed to catch a slimy mackerel. It is just amazing how many actually different species this harbour can hold. And sometime, in January, we can even get a kingfish inside the harbour. The slimy mackerel was decent size, and on light gear it just gives you a bit of a burn, which is actually an amazing feeling. So yeah, we were having fun. After a while, slimies disappear and then the barracuda came back. And kuta can be annoying, and I can tell you we lost quite a few jigs and quite a few actually whole setups, because they come and they bite your swivel and they got sharp teeth, so that's it, it's gone. Also, another fact about kuta, they stink. If you grab them in a hand and a few hours later you can still smell them, doesn't matter how much you wash. Underneath the boat, lots of life, and as you can see, we were plucking them left, right and center. Jerry was very busy. Even that most of the fish was just catch and release, we were having fun. We were having lots of fun, and mainly we were catching yuccas, but in the meantime we got slimy mackerel. Then we got some, we got a couple flatheads. Then we got barracuda, silver trevally, and then you're gonna see in the next shot, Jerry managed to get a silver whiting as well. Also, we had a couple King George whiting, but we didn't manage to film it as we ran out of juice on the cameras. Interesting enough, as Jerry got that silver whiting, I managed to get one straight away. So they're moving around in the harbour. We didn't move spots. We were on the same spot. We didn't move from there. And we were catching all different species. It was bright day and it was a sunny day, but it got a little bit cold. Every time in the afternoon, Portland does, in this time of the year, does get a bit chilly. But I put my hoodie on and we kept going. And there you go. Here, Jerry's got a silver whiting and a yucca in one shot.
The third day of our tuna fishing in Portland. The weather was amazing. No sign of tuna, so we ended up going all the way to the shelf and we tried some deep dropping. So
Yeah, we fished first at 600 meters, but I normally got a spot for ling and blue eye and that. And that didn't really work. So we came up a little bit shallower in about 400 meters and we managed to get 2 GemFish. So it wasn't too bad. So let's watch the next video.
Well, it's our third day and the weather gods promised a nice day, so here we are. We're launching early in the morning and we're on the way to the shelf. This time with us, Mima and Chiquita. Everything out there looked like a glass. It was unbelievable. In the meantime, Jerry was busy playing with Chiquita. I don't think anybody gets more cuddles and kisses than Chiquita. As we got out, it was a little bit choppy, but nothing special. But when we got past the rock, everything calmed down. We trolled for a bit, just in 40 meters, as we saw some dolphins and we saw some activities, but nothing on the sounder, so we decided to go straight to the horseshoe. When we got in 300 meters of water, we started trolling, but in the meantime I set up my rod and I set up this new battery that I just purchased. I got the rig out, I got the 2 kilo sinker, and we were ready to rock and roll. I will make a new video and show the setup that we use and the actual that battery that I just got, which replaced the 20 kilo lithium battery. In the meantime, there is the barracuda, then it was some squid and all the stuff that we caught the other day. Now it was time to load it up and try and get a pinkling or blue-eyed trevella, gemfish, blue grenadier, perch. Let's have a look. We did stop first in 600 meters and that didn't work for us. So now we came a little bit close on about 440, 450 meters. And yeah, you're gonna see what happens here. Well, here we go. Once the sinker hits the bottom, you just sit back and wait. Now, if you look at the tip of the rod, you only can feel a small nibbles. Then you wind just a little bit and you stop for a little while and see if the nibbles are still there. And if you can see them still there, you just bring it up. You got a fish on. Being a half a kilometer down there, you don't get these big screams or big takeoffs or whatever. You only got a little bit of notice, and then you just lift it up a little bit, 5-10 meters, just to see if they're still there, and they're still there. Then you retrieve your line. It takes about 10 minutes to retrieve half a kilometer, and then for last 15 meters you actually have to wind, and this time we got a gemfish. Now, even that this fish looks like a barracuda, it's nothing like it. This fish is so tasty, it's one of my favorites. And yeah, we were very happy. Then I drifted again over the same spot, and in no time we had fish on. Another gemfish. Even that it's very relaxing and laid back kind of fishing, it's still very interesting and enjoyable because you never know what you're gonna get. Also, most of the fish that come from down there are amazing to eat. We tried a little bit longer and then it was time to pack up and go back. The water was amazing, dolphins were happy, and we were happy too.
Well, after deep dropping and getting a couple of gemfish, we decided to stop at the Black Nose Point and try for some silver whiting. And
It was a successful session.
yes,
Plus, after that, we were cleaning the gemfish. We actually made a dinner, and GemFish is awesome. I have to be honest, it's a beautiful fish.
Now my favorite.
Ah, there you go.
Used to be the pink ling or link. Now it's the GemFish.
And then, obviously, the very next day on the way home, we even managed to stop at Port Fairy, and me and Jerry got out, but it was way too rough. And we just decided not worth it, so we got back. So watch the last video.
When we got back, we had a plan to stop at Black Nose and see if any silver whiting is around. As you can see, the sun was just about to set and we didn't have much time, but we wanted to give it a go. Sure enough, Jerry was on one straight away. That was a good sign for us that they were there. Obviously, barracuda, small kuta. This is the smallest kuta I ever caught was in this area. So there was heaps of them around. So it was fun, but it was time to go and clean the GemFish and go home and have some dinner. GemFish, normally you just fillet, and the fillets are nice and white. It's actually beautiful meat. Also, I do check their stomach what they eat, and this time they were eating some tutti creature as well. Next to us, there was few people that actually had the same idea, and they actually did deep drop and they went really well. They got some blue eye, they got a sea perch, and they also managed to get a tuna in that area. When we got back to our place, it was important not to kill the fish twice, so you don't do much. You put salt, pepper, light flour, a butter in the actual fry pan, and that's it. It is amazing. It tastes so good, it's unbelievable. The very next day, we were on the way home, but we made a quick stop at Port Fairy. We knew there is some tuna in the area, and we just give it a try. We got out, it looked quite promising, but the further we went, it just started to chop up. In no time, there was white caps everywhere. Minutes in, and we decided, you know what, let's turn around and go back, as it started to lift up quite a bit. Again, it wasn't dangerous, but it just was uncomfortable. But we still gave it a go.
Well, my favorite tool when I deep drop is my sounder. Now, I do not have 1 kilowatt transducer for the deep water. I only got the 175 high weight, as you can see here. And once you out of the water, make sure you put it on pause. And to do that, you just go on more options, and basically you got a pause button here, because the transducer, while it's working and pinging, it gets really hot, and it's the actual water that cools it down. So make sure it's on pause, and let's go back to our chart. Now, this is your everyday CMAP chart, and if I do this, you can see all the markers. You can see, obviously, shallow water, deeper water, much deeper water, like 20 meters, whatever. Then there is your shallows, dark blue. So it's not too bad, and I have to say I use this map 99% of time when I'm driving, because it's easy to navigate. But when I'm looking for something or structures or whatever to fish, this is my best friend. So it's called shaded relief. So you go to more options, chart options, and if you go up here into reveal map, you got this option, shaded relief. If you click on that, this is not colors, this is actually a 3D structures. So it's like a satellite picture for underwater. You can see the gravel, you can see the actual drop-offs, you can see actually the channel, that's the Geelong channel, and look how clear that is. It's just amazing. So when you look for something and you want to fish somewhere, obviously you're not going to go in a blank here. You're going to be trying to be close to these drop-offs, and it's very, very, very effective. Now, why are we showing this? Because when we go to Portland, I'll actually show you. I'll take this relief off. So this is your standard map. There is Portland.
And basically, on the standard map, this is how you see the actual shelf. There is the shelf here, you can see the contour, and that the closer the lines are, the bigger the drop is, and all this is flat. As you can see, it's just flat. Now, why we love this map? Well, have a look at this. You go onto shaded relief, let's say at the horseshoe, and you click on that. Have a look at the drop-offs, and then when you click in and you zoom in, have a look where we're catching the blue eye. It's on this contour. It's actually on this edge where we actually fish. I target even the albacore, and that's how we roll. We go through that edge because once the water hits here, pushes the bite up, and albacore, tuna, they all come and obviously benefit from that. But when we chase, when you deep drop and we chase blue eye and ling and that, we're looking for this kind of spots like there, in here. So these kind of spots here, have a look. I got a marker and all this stuff. It basically say the depth, and you can see it, like it's just amazing, the actual definition of this map. Have a look at, so basically that's your shelf. Here 300 meters, here 2000, so here 15 meters. It's amazing how it looks, but it's a 3D version of the bay or of the ocean. So yes, if you want to do deep dropping, I think this is your best friend.
Again, thank you all for your support. We're on episode 98, believe it or not. And yeah, everybody that purchased our t-shirts and our jackets and our hoodies and all that sort of stuff, thank you heaps.
Once again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and we will see you next time.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman.